So I wanted to see if I'm able to beat Diablo 2 with a spare Amazon using player 8 settings. And of course, if you don't know, player 8 increases the HP of all enemies by 450%. So they are going to be really tough to kill. So I bought this spare from the vendor that has 2 open sockets, and I was planning to use Ruby or Topaz on those sockets. So I grind my way through the stony field and dark wood, underground passage, etc. to the black marsh and went to the tower cellar levels. So I was hoping to get right runes to make stealth from the countess, but I was not lucky enough, so I just had to move forward to the Act 1 and just not use the stealth this time. At least the XP was flooding, so I was able to level up really fast, and I just run past all the levels to the Underreal, which of course was a huge grind since I didn't have any powerful weapons or crushing blow or static field, so I just have to grind and grind to kill her. And finally I was able to kill Underreal and move on to the Act 2. At this point loot gods have really forgot me, I didn't see any set or unique items in Act 1 at all. Act 2 was not that bad, it was like the same difficult level as Act 1 and it was the typical grind farm. You get the cube, you get the stuff pieces, you combine the stuff into cube, you go to Arcane Sanctuary, and finally you go to kill the Duriel. So nothing special happened in Act 2, and still I hadn't found any unique items. I dropped some amazingly bad set items, as is expected in normal playthrough, so the gear was still really weak at this point. But I was able to get some emeralds and combine them into a better emeralds in cube and make this amazing poison spear. Everything was really slow to kill and they were kinda deadly because you are playing spear Amazon, you have to rely on dodge. At least those works in Diablo 2 Remaster, that's nice. But yeah, it was slow grind, mostly running past enemies and ignoring stuff. At this point I still didn't get the runes to make stealth, so I was just running some random piece of gear that I could get, and the rune drops just weren't there. I just had to play through without of runes, I guess.
Good riddance, freak.
But hey, at least Durier dropped this beautiful set item helm, Berserker's helm. Wow! What an amazing upgrade to my gear. Well, let's move on to the Act 3. Act 3 was the same grind as Act 2. You collect the Kalim's heart and stuff to get the quest item. And I was able to drop one pike with 3 open sockets and put some ruby, sapphire and topaz in it to make an amazing damage dealing weapon. So that was at least some minor upgrade to my gear. And I also managed to get 2 nice rings that give me life leads and mana after each kill. I thought that Ravinsal Guardians would be a tough challenge, but actually they were not that bad. I was able to separate them from each other and kill them one by one, and they weren't that bad at all. So I was pretty easily able to take them down and move on to Duras of Hate levels. Endurance of Hate, I just run past everything, no point to kill anything here, I was so high level already, and I just wanted to find my way to the Mephisto as fast as I could. And the Mephisto Guardians, they were some challenge, but a few visits to store and get more potions and resurrect my mercenary, I was able to beat them and make my way through to Mephisto. Mephisto was easy as usual, it just takes some time because I didn't have Crushing Blow still, so I just had to grind and grind, but it's not really deadly boss at all. Unfortunately, nothing nice dropped from Mephisto either. And Act 4 is again run, run, run. You just want to run past everything, no point to start killing these, they have too much HP. I just run past Isual and just move my way into the River of Flame. At least I did kill the Smith, the Hephasto, to see what rune I can get. Maybe I can get rune to make Crushing Blow rune word. Unfortunately, I didn't get any nice rune, so I just have to move on to Chaos Sanctuary and start making my way to Diablo without of any specific gear upgrades. Oh, and by the way, if you didn't already notice, I'm playing this on Xbox to make this challenge extra difficult, so that's a little bit bonus. And yeah, so Chaos Sanctuary, I just killed the gods, Lord Disease, etc, etc. They weren't that hard at all, but Diablo takes some time to kill.
Farming Diablo all through the night, looking for loot in infernal light. Mephisto's down, but this is the show. I'm dropping hammers on Diablo. Farming Diablo in pixel hell. Set items shine like a wishing well. Can't stop now, the leg must drop. My magic mind is over the top.
Call me MF King, I teleport clean. Chaos still clear like a dream machine. Enigma, Oculus, stacking gold. Still no vex room, but I'm feeling bold. Doing hell, not any week. Feels too long, Diablo's peak. Queen in hand, FCT rolling. Merc stay alive, we chaos rolling. Not even death can save you from me. Maybe he'll drop an arrested fish tonight.
Farming Diablo, flames in the sky. TP to star, and I'm ready to fly. Feel it fade, static go. Get ready for the final blow. Farming Diablo and their crew. Pendle and Baal can't wait their cue. We bring the pain, we bring the glow. 'Cause nothing feels like killing Diablo.
So Act 5, the same stuff again. You just run, run, run past everything. No reason to get more XP. I was way over level 30 already. So I just run my way to the Ancients and try to kill the Ancient Barbarians. And I had a fear that that might be a little bit challenging. So let's see how it goes. It was a long and tough fight, but in the end I was just barely able to defeat them. And while Valkyrie was the MVP, they just couldn't kill her. And it was slow and painful, but the Valkyrie did the job and I had my weapon broke, I haven't got any potions left, so it is what it is. So I quickly made my way to the Baal and the Throne of Destruction, and I just run past everything at this point, of course, and the Guardians were kinda challenging, not that bad, but the Lister of Torment, I just decided to trick them out of the room and just ignore them and move straight to kill the Baal. At this point, I used all the tricks I could use, and I even used a socket on this bike to add a little bit more damage to my mercenary, so I just try to do everything I can to increase my damage output.
I'll put that to good use.
So slowly but surely I kill all the Guardians, and they weren't that bad. Just took some time to kill them. The Valkyrie was still the MVP of the party. She could tank everything, barely die to anything, and the mercenary did good job to help me increase my damage. So only thing that the blister, as I mentioned, I had to ignore that enemy pack because they have the knockback and stun and stuff like that that are annoying to deal with. Of course, Baal without a crushing blow or static field, it takes forever, it takes million years to kill the Baal. And I think I broke my weapon at least 6 or 7 times and I had to go back to the merchant to repair it, and it was just slow and painful, long, hard grind to kill the Baal. So, but finally I was able to take Baal down and the mission was complete finally. I have to confess that I was first planning to play also Nightmare and Hell, but then I realized after the normal that on player 8 with this build, playing the Hell, being able to defeat the bosses and stuff like that, like Magotler, you have to kill something at least. It would take a lifetime, and probably I would have to drop some runes to make some specific rune words to make the build work, and it would take half of my life to complete that. So I just decided to call it a day and just leave it here. The normal was grind enough, so I'm not going to do the Nightmare and Hell. And this was my final gear I used to defeat the player 8 normal difficulty. So nothing amazing, nothing great, just basic stuff. But it did the job. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.